Okay, everybody. Today we're going to make this banner thing that I think we've all seen around. You usually see it on social media advertisements and things like that. And it's a real quick and easy way just to get some text on something that looks somewhat interesting. And there's several different variations out there on YouTube, but I thought I would do a little quick tutorial because I think it teaches some great principles of just how to maneuver through Illustrator. So let's get started. Okay, what we start out with is, of course, a rectangle. And we go over here. Let me lock down my background that I've already created. It's easier just to go ahead and have a background that's already created. So you just create this, and there's really no specific dimension that we need to work with to get this. And now we have this rectangle, and if you want to copy and paste a rectangle right there in place, because we need to get the dashes going, what you do is you hit Command C or Control C on the Mac, and then Control Shift V or Command Shift V. And now if you look over here, you'll see we have this second one created. Obviously we get rid of the fill on it, and let's come up with a color, I don't know, boom, like that. So now we gotta bring this little sucker in just a little bit. Okay, we just want to bring it in just slightly. If you go over here on your tool panel or tool palette, you've got the stroke tool. I'm going to go ahead and go to it the long way so you can see where it's at. And there is the stroke panel. Let me do the show options on it. Just simply click dashes. Now right now I have it set as a 1-point weight with 5-point dashes. And on the caps here, I'm going to go with the round cap. Okay. With the rectangle and the dashes selected, you need to hit the option key, and you're going to get these two double arrows, a black arrow and a white arrow. And that's going to tell you that you're ready to copy those and move them, okay? So basically we're going to go up, and then while you're doing that, you also want to hit the shift key. Okay. And another reminder, folks, go here to view smart guides. Make sure your smart guides is turned on. Otherwise, it's difficult to get these things to align properly, because I want one box to be sitting directly on top of another box. And with those two selected still, we kind of move it in slightly. Hit the option key, and then as you're pulling down, then go ahead and press the shift key. And the smart guides will guide you straight down, and it should kind of snap right there below this other box. So you select them, and one of the ways you can select is just click, drag, boom, it selects them all. And what you do is hit the center align. Okay, and there's several different ways to get to the alignment. But if you have multiple items selected, just go up here at the top, and that's where your horizontal center alignment is. Okay, let's start getting this thing looking. So with both of these selected, both your rectangle and your dash box selected, you're going to hit the shift key, and then you're going to hit the down arrow twice. 1, 2. Same thing here. 1, 2. Now I've got one other little bit of housekeeping. I need to make a copy of this. This is going to be used for later. I'll go ahead and resize it now. It's going to be the end of our little thing, our little ribbon. And the way I made this little point here was I used the plus key. That allows you to add a point to a specific path that's already been created. And I clicked, and then I hit the white arrow tool, and I dragged it in. Okay. While I'm here, I might as well go ahead and change this to this darker color. Okay, let's go ahead and do a little bit of housekeeping on some of these. This is bottom dashes, top dashes, and middle dashes. Now, what we're going to do is grab everything, and so if you just hit the circle at the top of the layer here, we are going to go ahead and right click and go down to transform and shear. And nothing happens, but you hit the preview and it's going to give you a shear angle. We're going to do -15. Now the reason why it didn't look the way you want it to is because you need to do it on the right axis. We're going to shear this on the vertical angle, not the horizontal. Okay, so now what we need to do is make some copies. Okay, now what we need to do here is grab these, and we're going to make the back ends of this ribbon the way it kind of wraps around. And the easiest way to do that is first, like for instance, this is our bottom copy. Let's go down here, grab it with the V tool, go down here, and there's a square with a notch flipped up on it. It says create new layer, and you just do as it says, create a new layer. But don't select the top one, select the bottom one, and we are going to color that a little bit darker color. Then we're going to turn it off. Turn off the top layer that's directly above it, so we can kind of see what's going on here. And then you hit the letter A for the direct select tool. This allows you to grab a particular point, and you're going to grab it, and with your smart guides it's going to make this a lot easier. And you're going to grab those 2 points, and you're just simply going to drag it up. Now we have this one here. Let's do the exact same thing. Again, turn the top one off, hit the letter A, and then shift and grab each of those points. If you don't hit the shift key, you'll only be able to grab 1 point at a time, as you might expect. And again, you just drag it down. Okay. Again, we do that. Now let's go ahead and do it for this one here too. And what we need to do first is hit the letter O. What the O is the reflect tool. Okay. And if you double click on the O, well, it's going to essentially reflect it in a particular way that you want it to. We want to reflect it on the horizontal. Okay. And while we're at it, instead of hitting the OK, hit copy. And now we have 2 of these little bad boys. You hit the letter V to grab it, and again you just kind of drag it down to where it needs to be dragged. Hit the letter O, drag your mouse over an anchor point, and hit the option, and then you click, and it's going to bring up this dialog box, or you can double click over on the palette over here to the left if you like. But this is just as easy way to do it as any. And we're going to, instead of flipping on its horizontal axis, we're going to flip it on its vertical axis. No need to copy, just hit OK. And we move this. So now for a little bit of housekeeping, we need to move both of these up a little higher. And a little higher. And a little higher. There we go. And let's go ahead and rename this to middle banner. I don't know. Middle, let's say lower back, lower banner. Let's go ahead and now let's grab this one. Okay, that's probably good enough. And we'll just type top banner here. You can just hit the A key and see if you just hit letter A, you can kind of just grab any point and just kind of do what you want with it. Now it's time to do our text. I'm going to go ahead and do it up here. I'm just going to type design. I'm going to use all caps. And the font I'm using today is Vimeo. I wanted something real big and, you know, a little bit not too stuffy looking. This is kind of nice. It's big, but it's a little bit fluffy. Okay, and we just drag this down. Now, if you want to get it to that 15-degree angle, hit R. That's the rotate tool. And if you double click on the rotate, I like just to go ahead and double click over here on the left. And with your preview selected, you hit 15. And I'm going to go ahead and just eyeball this because we're not trying to do anything crazy. Okay. And now let's go down a little bit, and you kind of have to double click and you type something. And again, I'm just going to eyeball this because we're not trying to do anything crazy. Something like that. Okay, and then option, and then pull down, and today. Okay, now all three of these have been edited, and we drag all three of them down to this create new layer. Boom, it creates a new layer. Now you have try something today, kind of a top 3 layer, and then you have design something today as these bottom 3 layers. You want to grab these bottom 3. Okay, now we're going to use our arrows on our keyboard and go down 2 and to the right 2. And if you see this little transparency right here, I'm going to go ahead and find it the hard way, which is up here under Window and Transparency, and you're going to have your transparency or blend modes as they call them, and you're going to go with difference. Now the final thing we want to do is create the little shadows here. Now there are many ways you can create them. You can create them with clipping masks. I could copy this banner here and this banner here and go here to my Pathfinder tool and try to create a trim or a divide. I've played with this particular design several times, and there's so many of these little banners that it starts to get confusing, and I found the easiest way to do it is just to kind of just create it, kind of eyeball it. So if you hit the Command and space and then pull with your mouse, let's get a little bit closer view into what's going on here. If you hit the letter P and then go over here to your palette or to your layers panel, and we are going to lock every one of these down, because if you start playing with the pen tool and you haven't locked stuff down, you'll be adding, you'll feel like you'll be adding points to an existing path, and it'll just drive you bonkers. So with everything locked down, you just go in here again with your smart guide. That makes it a lot easier, and you make this as big as you feel like you need to make it. I'm not going to make a huge harsh shadow, and the way I'm going to do this is I'm going to go with this yellow right here, and again with the transparency grid palette pulled up, I'm going to go down here to multiply, and multiply just gives it a nice offset color. It's just a shadowy looking color. Let's get lazy here, and we're just going to go ahead and copy and paste this. So you hit Option and pull down, and it should slide right in there. For this last one, it doesn't because it's a different type of ribbon, but we hit Option. And okay, and then kind of pull right into here again. And Option or Command space and pull up, hit the letter A key, kind of just eyeball this somewhat, hit the space key, find out where your other pieces are. Whoops. And alrighty, and it looks something like that. And if you hit the letter F key to kind of get it full screen, there it is. Thank you, and I hope this helps you, and I will go ahead and put this project file in the description as well. Okay, thank you and have a good day.